Awesome. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yep. Alright guys, what's up? This is the AMZ Secrets Show and your host, David Aladdin. This is a show where we focus on creating epic content for the advanced Amazon seller. We're not just in this game to take part, we're in this game to take over. I believe the market is wide open for Amazon, e-commerce, and commerce itself. There's a lot of game-changing technologies that have cleared the path for automation, scaling up, and global distribution. Today, we've got a special guest on the show. His name is Brendan. Brendan, how old are you?
31 years old.
Okay, so he's pretty young. He's actually 3 years older than me. But both of us are pretty young. Usually people are just getting into their first jobs, second jobs right now. How long did it take to do this speech? Well, it's a good speech. But currently we're live, so I'm going to try not to answer like some random questions. Actually, that's fine. You guys can keep asking random questions. Brendan,
yeah.
Go ahead. Brendan pulls over $100,000 a month on Amazon, selling on Amazon, and he started 7 months ago. So we're going to get his story and some background information. So thanks for coming on the show, Brendan. Can you tell us a little about yourself?
Yes, thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on the show, David. So I started Amazon 8 months ago. Technically I started a little bit earlier than 8 months, but before that I was doing retail arbitrage. I think most people know what that is. You just go, basically go to big department stores, buy low, and then you sell high on Amazon. So it was always other people's products. I did that for a few months, and then I realized that model didn't really work for me because I was finding that I was doing, wasting like 5-6 hours every day just driving around the city and looking for stuff. And every day seemed like, every day was a challenging day because you don't know if you're going to find a good deal or not. So then I heard about the private label business from the group that I was in. It was one of those retail arbitrage groups. And then I started researching about 9 months ago, 2 weeks of researching, and then I realized this is the model for me, and I took the leap. I actually sourced my product from China. So I took the plane to the Canton Fair, and that's where I basically began the journey of private label. And it took a while to get to where I am now, but I must say that it's been a great experience, and there's been ups and downs, but I learned a lot, and I'm really excited to be where I am right now. Like David said, I'm doing about just over 100K a month in revenue, and about 30-some% of that is actually profit. So yeah, I'm really excited.
So a lot of people, when they first get into private label, they don't like fly to China and go to the Canton Fair. For people that don't know, Canton Fair is like this huge exhibition of like tons of different wholesalers, but also manufacturers that actually bring their products to tables and they lay them out, and it's enormous, right?
Yeah, it is. It is crazy. Like you could get lost in there just because there's so many different aisles and maybe 50 to 60,000 booths that you can check out. So you really need to know what you're looking for when you go there, or at least have a general idea of what category you're looking for. Otherwise, you can spend days, and you only really have 5 days, 4.5 days to browse a phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So did you have products in mind when you got to the Canton Fair, or were you just keeping an open mind?
Well, I didn't have the exact product in mind, but I had a general idea of what kind of category products I wanted to get into.
Okay, I'm getting tons of epic questions. They're kind of like strategies that people can kind of leverage if you look at it in the right angle. So basically, Brendan went to China right even before he started private label, but he did retail arb, so he knew what he was getting himself into. But the fact that he actually just, instead of using Alibaba or some type of online sourcing company, he went right to the source themselves, and you shook their hands, I'm guessing, and you met your manufacturers or the sales reps. Dude, that's exactly. It's a different level of sourcing.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I wanted to really to be different, than what most people are doing. So I figured the best way is to go to where the source is, which is fly to China and,
okay.
Get to the direct source where the products are coming from.
If I may ask, how much money did you initially put into your first product?
My first product wasn't that big of an investment. So I bought 300 units, my first order, and that only costed me about $1,000, not including shipping.
Okay.
And then after shipping, about $1,500.
Dude,
so that was my very first order. Although I did have to place a second order within the first, I would say, 3 to 4 days of launching the product, because I knew right away it was selling, or it was going to sell. I was going to run out of stock right away, so I had to place an order right away, essentially.
Yeah, that's really cool. Insight. You know how most people shop online, and you actually went to the person. Do you find the price is different at the Canton Fair versus Alibaba? Because you can probably see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it?
The prices are definitely different because.
Lower, you think?
Number one, Canton Fair, the main audience they're targeting is not like Amazon or online retailers. They're mostly brick and mortar, bigger corporate, chain department store sales people that go there and buy bigger quantities. So usually the MOQ is definitely on the high side. I was able to negotiate down to a smaller quantity, but I would say most MOQ is, which stands for minimum order quantity, is about 1,000 minimum. And the prices are generally a little bit higher as well because, again, these people that go to the Canton Fair, they're usually medium-sized to larger-sized manufacturers from China. So, and they usually charge a higher price because they have to pay a significant amount of money to be at the fair. It's not it's not for smaller size manufacturers.
Yeah, I'm guessing
so
they have to pay.
Because of the price they're paying, and plus they're looking for bigger numbers, they're usually going to give you a little bit a higher price, inflated price, I guess, compared to, I would say, if you were to source outside of Canton Fair.
All right, so for all the live viewers out there and the people listening to the podcast, secret number one, Periscope's, the prices at the Canton Fair are actually higher, and that's definitely not what I expected. I thought because of all the competition it'd be lower. So.
Yeah, so the thing with the Canton Fair is the prices are inflated at the Canton Fair, but if you get the business cards or contact information for these manufacturers, and then you talk to them maybe a month or two, or even a week after the Canton Fair, when you get back, you can actually negotiate a better price. If you were to do business on the spot, if you were to make a deal at the Canton Fair, then it's going to be higher. But if you wait a week or two, and then you email them afterwards and make a deal off the Canton Fair, then you're going to get a little bit better deal for sure. So that's a strategy.
That's a secret number two. So if you wait after you arrive at the Canton Fair and you made negotiations, you can keep the manufacturer on hold and kind of waiting for your response. So they will give a lower price.
Yep, that's exactly it. Definitely everything's inflated. The reason being, like I said, there's a lot of big time buyers there. I overheard one lady came in and ordered 500,000 units of two products from one of the booths, and I was like, wow, okay, well, with an Amazon seller, no one's going to order even more than 1,000 units right off the bat, most likely. And there's people there ordering hundreds of thousands of units right off the bat. So that's why the prices are generally higher, especially for smaller sellers or buyers like us.
Okay, I don't want to say too much on the Canton Fair, but how much did it cost?